This is CBB Today. I'm Spencer Ostroff, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're doing another game preview. We're doing this for the top 10 matchup between the Michigan Wolverines and the Illinois Fighting Illini. We're going to talk about some key players, some key X factors to keep an eye out for, and then I'm going to give you my game prediction. Without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. Let's start off with the Michigan Wolverines, and I think we all saw Michigan's game over the weekend against Duke when they lost 68-63 in Washington, D.C. Now, I saw some Michigan fans panicking, and then I saw a lot of them that were like, you know what, this is fine. We shot 6 for 25 from 3, and we lost by 5 points to a top 2 team in the country. So, yeah, we all saw that. Last night, Michigan defeated Minnesota 77-67, in a game that was probably a little closer than most people expected. Elliot Cadeau led the way with 15 points for the Wolverines. He got back on track after a little bit of a rough outing in Washington, D.C., Yeah, I mean, look, Yaxel Lendeborg, he only shot the ball 3 times. He went 1 for 3. I thought he was maybe going to try and make a statement after the whole internet was coming after him for his post-game press conference. But look, he rises to the occasion. We all saw him against Duke. He had 21 points, 7 rebounds. He started like 6 for 6 from the field, a couple of and ones. So yeah, obviously Yaxel Lendeborg is the head of the snake for the Michigan Wolverines. Elliot Cadeau is their point guard, their quarterback. But then they have Merez Johnson. Merez Johnson was committed to Illinois for 3 years. Went to Illinois, had a good freshman year, and then leaves for a Big Ten rival in Michigan. That kind of sums up where we're at in this day and age with NIL and the transfer portal. That is a conversation for another day. They also have Dai Mora, who is one of the best defenders in all of college basketball. And then, look, their bench, they go 9 deep. We know this. We've seen it. Roddy Gale, LJ Kaysen, Trey McKinney, Will Cheddar. Like, those guys are starting at a lot of other schools. Trey McKinney is going to be one of the best players in the Big Ten next year. Granted, he stays at Michigan. LJ Kaysen is the best backup point guard in all of college basketball. Roddy Gale is an instant offense plug off the bench. Will Cheddar, 3-and-D. You know, are these guys, you know, going to play 20, 25 minutes? Probably closer to 20 if we're talking about McKinney and Kaysen. Are these guys that can be X factors in a game like this on the road in conference towards the end of the season? Yeah. You know, if LJ Kaysen and Trey McKinney against Purdue combined for 26 points off the bench, they each had 13. That's what I call an X factor. Guys that, you know, when you're playing on the road against these top 10 teams, guys that aren't typically doing something, you need them to step up and do it. And I think Roddy Gale can be that guy. I think LJ Kaysen can be that guy. Now, am I expecting them to go out there and score 20-plus points? No. But if a guy like Will Cheddar can come into the game and hit 2 threes in, 3 minutes, that's what I call an X factor. So look out for those guys. You kind of know what you're getting from the front court, right? You kind of know what you're getting from Elliott, from Yaxel. It's the guys that are going to be coming off the bench. Can they make a big difference and propel this Michigan team to victory on the road? So we'll have to wait and see. Michigan, obviously, we're talking about they play Illinois this Friday, and then they have at Iowa and home against Michigan State to close out the year. They already clinched a share of the Big Ten regular season title. I'm sure, they have their eyes set on bigger things like a national championship, but congratulations to them besides that. And yeah, with all that being said, let's now talk about the Illinois Fighting Illini. If you're serious about college basketball and you want real analysis, this is the channel for you. Smash that subscribe button and get back to the video. Now, Illinois is not only one of the most talented teams in the Big Ten, they're one of the most talented teams in the entire country, and they are led by Keenan Wagler. Keenan Wagler is the 6'6 freshman who's a projected top 10 overall pick in this year's draft. He averages 18.2 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and he shoots it 42% from beyond the arc. Now, the one knock on Keenan Wagler is his athleticism. I don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll see, but for right now, it's not an issue at all. He's dropped 30 on whoever, whenever, and I'm very excited for the guard matchup. I'm very excited to see how Dusty May decides to cover him. Is he going to put Elliott? Is he going to put Namari? Is he going to sub in Roddy Gale early for a Dai Mora and put Roddy on him? Is he going to put Yaxel? We'll see what ends up happening there. Colin Boswell obviously had a hand injury that kept him out for about a month, even a little less. He came back a lot sooner than I expected him to. He's averaging 13.9 points per game. He's only shooting at 30.8% from three, but he's very capable of hitting the open three. He plays good defense, and he makes the right play. He's like a perfect guy to have as like an off-ball two guard. I like Brad Underwood, I know, loves him. I'm sure Illinois fans love him. Obviously, there's Stojakovic, Mirkovic, the Aviciches, Petrovic doesn't really play, but all the itches. Stojakovic, I think Illinois fans are a little mixed on him. I'm not an Illinois fan, but I think Andre Stojakovic is one of the best. Just, you need a bucket, go get a bucket. Okay, give the ball to Andre. Like, I know a lot of people thought he just doesn't fit, and I think when they went and got Andre Stojakovic, they didn't anticipate Keaton Wagler being Keaton Wagler, which kind of threw things off a bit, but I think he's settling into his role. And look, he can still give you 20 points on any given night. He'll still rebound. He averages 4.5 rebounds a game. He can't really shoot the three. He only shoots at 24.6 from beyond the arc. He's not Peja, but look, he's still a very, very good player. We then have David Mirkovic, who I think a lot of people first heard about him early in the year when he had a game of 27 points and 21 rebounds, and people probably assumed he was like this 6'10 power forward. No. He's about 6'7". He's a small forward. He can shoot the three. He's going to rebound. He shoots it 38.1% from three. Averages 12.7 points per game, 7.7 boards. He's a character. He's a great player for a freshman. He plays older than his age. Tomislav Avicic, that rounds out the starting five. Tomislav Avicic is, a center that can stretch the floor. He can rebound. I know Illinois fans are happy to have him back because they didn't know if he was going to be back this year. And then his brother came in, Zvonimir Avicic, who I don't know how much they'll be on the floor at the same time. I'm assuming more than usual with Michigan's size and their depth. And then let's talk glue guys and X factors. Now, we talked about Michigan's X factors potentially being Will Cheddar, Roddy Gale. Well, Illinois' are pretty simple, and I think everyone would agree with this. Jake Davis and Ben Hummerkaus. These are prototypical 3-and-D guys. Now, they look a little different. Jake Davis is on the smaller side. Ben Hummerkaus is like 6'8", 6'9". They're going to hit the open three. They're going to defend. And they both average around 6 points per game. Ben Hummerkaus averages 6.4. Jake Davis, 5.8. But you want to win this game against one of the best teams in the country in Michigan, you're probably going to need one of those guys to hit 3 or 4 threes. Now, does it have to be 3 or 4 threes? No. But, score 10 or 12 points instead of your normal 6. Play good defense. Stay out of foul trouble. Maybe get whoever's guarding you to pick up a few fouls, maybe draw an offensive foul, something like that. Make a play against a team like Michigan that can propel your team over the top. So, yeah, that'll round out the Illinois preview. They really only play 7-8 guys depending on the game and depending on who's available, because we all saw Boswell and Stojakovic were out for a little bit, and they were really playing with 6 guys at one point. So, yeah. That'll round out the Illinois preview, and now let's get into my game prediction. So last week for the Michigan-Duke game, I think a lot of you saw I picked the Michigan Wolverines, and I was wrong. And I was the first one to admit. I had Duke fans crawling back to my comments after the game, telling me how much of an idiot I am, and I don't want to be wrong again, because I don't like that. I like it more when people are like, yo, good call, good shout, nice prediction. So, with that being said, I preach a few things when it comes to who I pick in college basketball and when it comes to, giving teams some slack. Now, 2 of my biggest things are it's hard to win on the road in college basketball and it's hard to win in conference. Now, this is a conference game, and this game is in Champaign, Illinois. Okay? And another one, you want to believe in some sort of karma. And do I think Dusty May did any wrongdoing when it came to recruiting Merez Johnson? I don't know. That's really out of my pay grade. Do Illinois fans, do a lot of Big Ten fans think that there was some, foul play there? Yeah. So if you believe in karma, if you believe in it's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten, it's hard to, just win these big games on the road, then yeah, you probably like Illinois. And that's why I'm going to take Illinois. Now, there's no spread for this game yet. This game is at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. The ESPN metrics currently have Illinois at a 51.5% chance to win this game. Now, A few things have to go right for Illinois to win this game. They're going to have to shoot somewhat decent from three. And they're going to need Michigan to not shoot over 40% from three. So, look, we saw against Duke, Michigan shot very poorly. They shot 6 for 25 from beyond the arc. But the game prior to that against Purdue, they shot 13 of 23 from beyond the arc. So, very volatile there. You're going to need Michigan to not, be unconscious from three. And you're going to have to not go, 3 for 19 from three. You're going to have to shoot probably above 32, 33% from three. You're going to have to defend, and you're going to have to stay out of foul trouble. Because the one thing Michigan has, if people don't want to give them credit for other stuff, if they want to say their guard play isn't good, which it is good, okay? Are their best guys playing the most minutes? I don't think so. I think Kaysen and McKinney should be playing a little more than they do. Again, conversation for another day. Michigan has bigs. They have size. They have girth. They have Rez Johnson. They have a Daimara. You got Yaxel. You're going to need Tomislav. You're going to need David. You're going to need Zvonimir. You're going to need them to stay out of foul trouble, okay? And I mean stay out of foul trouble early on. If they have 4 fouls with a couple minutes left, 5-6 minutes left, that's one thing. You cannot pick up 2 early fouls like a Daimara did in Washington, D.C. early on in the game. That causes you to have to sit the rest of the half. Those are... One more thing that has to go right. Jake Davis or Ben Hummerkaus has to score in double figures. Those are my 4 or 5 keys. I forget how much I said. Those are my 4 or 5 keys for Illinois to win this top 10 matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'm excited to come back to this prediction to see if I got it right. We're right around the corner from March Madness, and we have tons of content coming out prior to it, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are currently on the road to 500 subscribers. Leave a comment to tell me what video you'd want to see next, and I will see you guys next time. CBB today. Peace.